Honestly, I don't know what to say. I'm truly at a loss of words here, okay? The Nintendo Switch, also known as the Nintendo NX, has got to have had probably one of the worst product reveals I have seen in not just gaming, but technology in general. So, around 18 months ago, Satoru Iwata announced the Nintendo NX and that it was a new gaming platform. And they were deliberately being vague about it, not stating if it was a console or a handheld. And before Satoru Iwata's death, he talked about how the Nintendo NX was going to surprise and innovate. Ever since that announcement in March of 2015, lots of stuff happened. Satoru Iwata died of cancer, Nintendo released some mobile games that became popular before dying out like many mobile fads do, and the Nintendo NX hype train was fueled by rumors, speculation, people making up rumors to gain attention, and of course, bits and pieces from people like Ubisoft or the Pokemon Company, which explained some stuff like that Nintendo was trying to recapture the casual audience again, and that Nintendo was also making a system that would get new Pokemon games. A few days ago, Nintendo finally showed the NX for the first time, and they called it the Nintendo Switch in a promo video. And the Nintendo Switch lined up perfectly with a rumor that basically stated that it was going to be a lot like a obscure Chinese gaming tablet that never made it into production that had the same exact feature where you could remove the sides of the system and use it differently because the side of the system would be where two controllers would plug into. At the same time, though, to many gamers, this was a new thing, as after all, many gamers don't even know that gaming tablets exist for a good reason. They've been, for the most part, either flops or emulation machines, because Android doesn't have much in the way of games that target more hardcore gamers. It's kind of like a Nintendo system. So, as tablets and other Android gaming devices like the Nvidia Shield and Razer Edge have flown under the radar of many gamers, at the same time, Nintendo's Switch got lots of hype from internet Nintendo fans, and for a good reason. One of the things Nintendo did in the Nintendo Switch trailer was show two games on it, Skyrim and NBA. And those are the kind of games that more mainstream gamers play. Those are the kind of games you see people with their Xboxes and PlayStations playing. I mean, I remember at college, there would be these people playing NBA on the Xbox 360. Nintendo likely wants to get those gamers on the Nintendo Switch. But as the Wii U and Vita just last gen showed, you can't sell a game system to gamers if it doesn't even have the mainstream games. And the thing with the Nintendo Switch is, both 2K and Bethesda confirmed that NBA and Elder Scrolls are not coming to the Nintendo Switch. That's right, they showed games on the Nintendo Switch that weren't even there. And to make matters worse for Nintendo, Twitch streamer Dickhiscon, I think that's how you pronounce his name, said that what they did was they held dummy units for the Nintendo Switch trailer, and then they just added gameplay footage of these games in post-production. So, the Nintendo Internet Defense Force has been trying to say that it's likely an NDA, keeping these developers from saying that they're even working on Nintendo Switch games. Even though you have to keep in mind, Ubisoft announced that they were working on a game for the Nintendo Switch, Just Dance, and the Pokemon Company announced that they were working on a game for the Nintendo Switch, and I think a handful of other developers might have announced that they were working on games for that system too before they even showed it off. And I know the developers of Project Cars said that they were also going to wait for the successor to the Nintendo Wii U to come out before they made a Nintendo version of that game. no matter if all these developers were under an NDA, it doesn't make a single difference. If they were under an NDA, then the thing is Nintendo planned this whole thing poorly because all these game developers would have had games in development for the Nintendo NX, and they couldn't even announce them when Nintendo announced the name of the system as the Nintendo Switch because of this NDA. And when game companies usually show off their game systems, they always show games with them. Nintendo did that with the Wii U, where they had that whole Wii U third-party developer reel where they showed all these developers praising it, and they showed all these third-party games that were coming to the Wii U. And I think they tried doing the same thing for at least one or two E3s after that as well, to try to say, hey, our system has third-party, even when it was clearly tumbling down. And if there was no NDA, then that's probably even worse. Because Eurogamer contacted Nintendo about how they made the trailer, and they said that the video is all about explaining how the Nintendo Switch works. And they wanted to make a video showing how the Nintendo Switch is this new amazing game system. And here's what they said. You shouldn't assume what you saw on the video represents actual game footage, and further specifics on first-party games will be provided later. Now, that's not a good thing whatsoever, because if they showed this system with games that weren't there, like Skyrim or NBA, then that's misleading. I mean, if you show a gamer this trailer, they're going to think, oh man, I can finally play Skyrim on my Nintendo Switch. This is nice. I can play it in the bus, I can play it in the plane, I can play it in the crowded New York City subway when the AC's broke again. I can do that. This is so nice. And you know what? There were many people on websites like Twitter praising the fact that Nintendo finally got Skyrim. The fact that maybe they were turning it around in third-party support. And yet Bethesda goes and announces Skyrim's not even coming to the Nintendo Switch. That is a bad marketing move. Like showing off this trailer with games that the developers go and confirm aren't even coming to that system. I mean, that's as bad as, like, BioShock for the Vita, where it was announced and then turns out it was never even in development for the Vita. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that's happening with the Nintendo Switch right now. And it's not looking good for Nintendo at all. Unless, of course, you're part of the Nintendo Internet Defense Force, and it's okay when Nintendo does it, and Nintendo can do no wrong, and what difference does it make? The Nintendo Switch is going to be the best thing ever! And, yeah, I wouldn't buy a Nintendo Switch when hearing stuff about this, because all this is doing is giving me flashbacks to the Vita, where that system was supposed to be all that, and it was so good that the FTC sued Sony and won, because they lied in marketing. That is what the Nintendo Switch might end up being. Or it might be the next Wii U, where the Wii U had all these games that were supposed to come, and it had these developers saying it was the best system ever, and the next thing you know, the developers abandoned it like crazy when the games didn't sell, and it was hard to develop for. And that's all that needs to be said. Don't waste your money on the Switch until maybe it's been out for a few months and you're sure that it's not going to collapse like the Wii U did. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.
You know, what I've heard the fan community say is, I want my Mario, I want my Zelda, and I want the best of third party.